I'm Anwyn from Awakenings with Anwyn, and my show is Break the Mould with Anwyn. And today I have a really special guest, and his name is Joshua Ruff. How are you today?
Hello, yeah, I'm doing good. How are you?
Great, thank you. Yeah, welcome.
Thank you.
Is that looking out on your Japanese garden?
No, that's my cottage garden.
Nice. So I I discovered you, I think it was last year, and you talked about your beautiful farm that you have and Henle Gardens, I should say. You're very famous. You were on Gardening Australia.
Yeah, yeah,
How
thanks.
was that? Was that an amazing experience?
Yeah, I really enjoyed doing the Gardening Australia story, and it was good that they noticed me on my social media and reached out to me, and then yeah, wanted me to do a talk with Millie, but then I shared my bit more of my story, and they wanted to do just like a my story segment, so they could fit more in and just show like my passion of gardening, how I push that into trying to make a business out of it and trying to think of different ways to grow as a person and to give back in a way. So it was really good to give them that opportunity to share my story and things I want to achieve and try and make a difference and stuff like that. So that's been yeah really great to be given the opportunity to share my story on Gardening Australia, which is one of my favorite childhood TV shows growing up. I used to watch it a lot with my mum and inspired me to do more gardening. And yeah, it was really good to be given that opportunity to be on that show that meant a lot to me growing up.
Mm. And so, how did Henley Gardens come about?
Um, it came about, we bought the block in 2017 and was just planning to just do small garden with the house, build the house and get that completed. But it was during my time I had a cardiac arrest
Yeah.
5 years ago and died for I think six minutes, and
Wow.
then brought back put into a coma for 3 days, and then waking up was um, quite challenging. I didn't know where I was, and it was confronting having tubes down my throat. I couldn't communicate and stuff like that. I had to use like an eye chart to communicate with my family and stuff, and that was a hard time. But
How long did you have to do that for?
oh, it was a couple of weeks,
Wow. Okay.
and in that time when I was using the eye chart, they we were planning to build the gardens around the house at that time, and they were asking me for ideas of how to prepare the ground and build the garden and draw it up on a design with the like my family drawing up for me, and I was trying to explain
Yeah.
how yeah, I wanted it to look, and
That's
so
amazing.
yeah, they started building it while I was in hospital, and it gave me motivation to push myself to try and get out of hospital, even though doctors told me I probably wouldn't be able to return home and be in a home or go stay in hospital. So having my family create that garden, start building it, it really pushed me to prove the doctors wrong and want to see my garden and experience it. So yeah, I think it really helped me in that aspect.
Was there plans for the garden like before you had your cardiac arrest?
We had built a veggie garden and a couple of plants around the house, but not on the scale that initially we wanted to create. But I don't know, we just ended up see it come to being in a way.
Yeah.
It sort of just naturally happened, I feel.
And so when did you plant the lavender?
Oh, we planted the lavender probably about 2 years after that.
Okay.
I was at home, and this is after I got out, and I was thinking of what we could do with our land, um, that could turn my passion of gardening into a business so it could maintain the property.
Yeah.
So it would be so difficult on my family to maintain. So in that, at that time, I sort of had a dream of lavender, and then I just started to say, oh, that's a good idea to look into. And we just started from there. I did a lot of research and online research and reached out to different lavender growers to get their understanding of
Yeah.
where I have to go. And I had a lot of knowledge on how to improve the soil and stuff like that. So I did that myself and yeah, reached out to other lavender growers. They gave me plenty of early hints of where to go and like where to buy the lavender on that mass. So it was really good having people to reach out to help me. Yeah, of that area, there's one guy was Neville. He has a lavender farm near Kite and where, and he really helped me, showed me the process of distilling lavender oil and stuff like that. So it was really handy. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I came and visited it and it's really amazing. It's you've got how many varieties are there?
I have about 9 different varieties of lavender growing in the patch. It was more of a trial to see which lavenders grew the best in this area, and yeah, one of the main ones, Grosso, and my favorite is Pacific Blue and Egerton Blue. So those ones I'm planning to do more rows of lavender with
Right.
those types because they perform the best in this region.
And I think you said you staggered them, so you planted them so that they would bloom at different times. Is that right?
Yeah, those they bloom over the summer period, and the earlier ones that bloom is Pacific Blue, and then I think Egerton Blue, and then Grosso, and then some of the other ones follow after. So it does stagger the harvesting time. That really helps with just managing time and stuff like that.
And you also have some vegetables as well.
Yeah, I've had a vegetable garden that we've just recently redone and turned it more into a market style garden. And I have my gardener here that comes around once a week and he's helping me recreate that to be more efficient and better for the soil.
Yeah.
That's been what I'm doing at the moment. But over summer, this summer, it's been so dry that it's struggling a little bit, but once the rains come again, we'll be able to plant out a lot more of the vegetables.
Yeah, we've had extreme heats that have really affected the gardens, haven't they?
Yeah, it's been a bit of a challenge, but
On
we'll
bushfires.
get this rise too.
You describe yourself as a lavender grower, a gardener, and somebody that's interested in like community and sharing. And you have, what is it, a Malden's men's,
Modern Men's Circle has
who's
been.
that for?
Um, I've just I've found like a lot of men find it hard to communicate or find the space to communicate in a more emotionally
Yeah,
about life and
yep,
everything like that. And I joined a men's circle in Bendigo, and I found that so like beneficial for me to grow and to challenge myself to speak more openly just about how I'm feeling and stuff like that. And I saw the impact of me sharing my story within that group and how it benefit other people with sharing stories. And
mm,
I thought from that experience, I thought I'd try and do something out in Malden that could allow me to create a space to be so open and build a strong bond and allow people to deal with a lot of difficult struggles that they're going through.
Oh, amazing. That's so good. You said growing up it was a little bit traumatic. Like, so when you were diagnosed with,
Like Duchenne Muscular Dystrophy.
yeah, you were 5, is that right?
Yeah, I was 5 years old when like my mum noticed me falling over a lot or not keeping up with the rest of the kids, and my brother started to, who's a year younger than me, started to do more things
Right.
um, than me, and then she was just wondering why that was happening, and she got the doctors to look into it, and they eventually diagnosed me with Duchenne muscular dystrophy, which was something that my mum had no idea at the time.
Yeah.
Had been around anyone with that or know anything really, and it was a difficult time for her to learn through like what does that mean for her life going forward, and like the struggles that I would have to go through, the doctor's appointments and going to hospitals a lot. And I feel like it was quite challenging for her. For me at that age, it probably didn't really matter that much because I didn't really know much difference.
Got an older sister and a younger brother, is that right?
Oh, I got a few other siblings.
Oh,
I
okay.
got two older sisters and three younger brothers.
Oh, okay. Oh, quite a big family.
Yeah, big.
Yeah. And so yeah, she had to have run the whole family and then, attend to all of your needs, which, like you said, you had to go to hospital a lot, did you?
Yeah, every 6 months just to
Oh,
get checkups and make sure that things are going right. And also, like, they had to come up to the school and talk to the other kids of what
yeah.
it meant for me having that disability and adapt in the school in the right way and allow the other kids to understand, like, me as well. So it was a lot of moving parts just to make my life quite good growing up in a way.
Yeah. And your mum has been an amazing influence on you, hasn't she?
Yeah, she's been probably my biggest influence on me, especially in the garden space and life in general,
Yeah.
like the outlook on life and stuff like that. So that's, yeah, been quite amazing. It's been awesome to be able to share my passion of gardening with her, and she allowed me at a young age to create my own gardens as well, and always so inspiring for me in a way. Like when I was 12 years old at school, they had like a type of parliament set up, and I applied to be environment minister and able to set up a big garden at the school, and it's still there today.
Oh,
And like worms and stuff like that was
yeah.
actually quite new at the time. So yeah, she has had such a great impact, especially like when I would go to school and stuff, and then I'd come home and she'd be out in the garden weeding or making the garden, and I'd just share my day and what I got up to, and yeah, it's just really good to be able to create such a strong bond with having gardening right there in the middle of it. Yeah,
Yeah. And your grandmother was also a great gardener too, wasn't she?
yeah, she had greatly influenced mum and me in gardening. Like, and she's such a like a weedaholic in a way that whenever she visited, she spotted a weed, she would go and pull it out and stuff like that. And that's a good memory of her of that. And I really loved going up to their place up in Henle where she had a nice garden set up, and
Yeah.
yeah, so
And you've got a rose garden in her honor, have you? Is that
yeah,
right?
we built a memorial garden on the property where got a few roses for my nana, we put in Margaret Rocky Hall, which is a type of lavender, and then there's some roses put in that's also dedicated to my auntie that passed away,
Ah,
and but who had a great impact on the property at Henle Gardens, where she helped maintain some of the gardens and do a lot of the watering. She died a few years ago, and we wanted to also honour her impact on what we've built here as well.
yeah. It has a beautiful calming effect on you, is that right?
My garden, I've set up in such a way when we built the house to set up the garden rooms to be where my bedroom outlook would be, just because when I get older and stuff like that, if I'm bedridden or something like that, at least I can still enjoy the gardens. And I've set it up in a way that keeps the house nice and cool, but it's such a relaxing vibe to look out to. With like the Japanese garden, especially, there's a fountain in the corner, Japanese maple, and a magnolia that I look out to. And it's nice to see the changes of the year,
Yeah,
like leaves dropping, the changing colour, the like spring growth, and even when the garden's bare, it's easy to see the fountain, so that it's always something nice to look at all year round.
yeah. And like you were saying, like whenever you get older, you actually have defeated the statistics, haven't you, with your muscular dystrophy?
Mm.
Like,
Well, yeah, growing up, they had my life expectancy to be in the late early 20s.
yeah,
And as time has gone on that with technology and the medical, like understanding of my condition, got in equipment that allows me to live longer, like having a portable ventilator at home allows me to get enough air during the night and stuff like that, where I think back then that technology wasn't where it is today. So that's allowed people with my condition to extend their life quite a lot. And there's so much research going into it that, yeah, it's getting better and better for more people with my condition.
that's amazing. Yeah, and I think like your attitude to life is remarkable. And do you think that stemmed from when you said you died? You
Yeah, when I had that cardiac arrest,
yeah,
it really opened me up to a new perspective in on life, and that I was able to let go of the things that wasn't important and realize that once everything's gone, the main things that is really important is human connection and
yeah,
just people communicating with people in a way where everything else doesn't matter at all. I lost the idea of holding on to things or like even success and stuff like that. It really doesn't really matter compared to the human connection.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. Like the things that I read that you wrote are really amazing, and some lessons that you've learned that you embrace, and that you mentioned that the human connection, being fully present
yeah,
and having a purpose, and your gardens is that purpose, isn't it?
my garden is part of my purpose. Like
Okay.
the purpose is trying to impact people and in a way help my younger self in a way that to do like everything I was struggling with growing up, not seeing other people like me,
Yeah,
like people going out and achieving things and enjoying life and trying to live it to the highest potential of what I could achieve. That by me doing it now, and they can, younger people with my condition can see me achieving, then it may change their outlook on life and believe in themselves that they can do a lot more in life and
Mm,
they can achieve what their dreams are and not feel like a burden. I feel like me sharing my story and putting myself out there allows them to see that.
for sure, absolutely. Even, for people like us, like I'm totally inspired by your story. And yeah, like so you said that you had that self-doubt before. What what do you think was the turning point? Like you when when that happened, like what was it about that experience? Because you said you died and then you had to relearn everything, didn't you? You had
I,
to learn.
I sort of had, yeah, learned to breathe and because I
Yeah.
had tubes more in me, I had like a eating peg, a peg as well to help me get food and stuff like that. And there was like really no hope of getting out of hospital that the doctors were saying. And like, yeah, proving them wrong and getting out. But yeah, just having that cardiac arrest. Like, I also was able to let go of my fears and realize that, like, I don't know, life is a bonus in a way from then because I felt like I died and my life was coming to an end there. But after that, it was like what I can achieve now is just a bonus. And it just, yeah, life is so good when you let go of those fears and realize that, like, on the other side of fear, all good things happen. And like being uncomfortable and
Yeah.
doing stuff like that, there's all those rewards on the other side. Where before I used to have fears stop me putting myself out there, communicating more with the people around me. And yeah, it's just amazing to have that like weight lifted of having fears. Yeah.
Mm. And I like you quote a few different famous people, like Brene Brown's one, the joyful life is made up of joyful moments gracefully strung together by trust, gratitude, inspiration, and faith. Yeah. And Brene Brown is famous for fitting into a box and people wanting to be accepted, being part of belonging, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's really important. She talks about like taking the armor off and feeling like you have to wear all this armor to protect yourself. And if you can let it go and be vulnerable, you can create stronger connection with people around you. And
Absolutely.
that's what, like, her writings really inspired me to push myself and live in that uncomfortableness and be able to, like, yeah, just step into it and be able to inspire other people to be able to do the same. And I think that's why I created the men's circle in a way, is to do just that.
Yeah. And so, do you think you didn't sort of acknowledge those emotions that came up?
Yeah, I really kept to myself. I wouldn't share much even with my family and stuff like that. I definitely not talk to people. I was really shy and closed off and I don't know, allowed the pain of my own disability to shut myself off from the rest of society. And yeah, just I wasn't really living then. Like, I still achieved stuff, but I had felt like I had a mask on to protect myself in a way where I wasn't really protecting myself. It was just not wanting to step into that uncomfortableness of
Yeah.
sharing and rejection.
So true. Oh, and we all feel that, the feeling of rejection. You said that your dad was a bit tough on you. Was he not one that showed his emotions much?
No, it didn't really show his emotions too much. It was very, I don't know, it was a bit of a challenging time growing up that I don't know if he could manage his emotions that well that the family broke down and
Yeah.
parents separated and it was just a difficult time, yeah.
Mm. And you met him more recently, and you said that that was a very healing process for you.
Yeah, and some closure of my childhood, like dealing with trauma and 15 years later or so,
Yeah.
that being estranged for so long, being able to see him in a different light in a way where I felt stronger as a person, father myself in a way that what I wanted from my dad, that now I can provide that for myself and be more confident in myself. I feel, yeah. Just seeing him allowed me to let that go and just see him who he is at the moment rather than then. And
That's an important point. Yeah. Like who he is now. Yeah. And he would see you how you are now, and you would have changed so much. Like you've
yeah,
developed and grown, and you've achieved so much.
mm,
Yeah.
yeah, I held on to a lot of pain from that, from the family breakdown and not being able to connect to my dad what I really wanted growing up.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, it was able to also find forgiveness and let go of holding on to pains that like you don't really want to hold on to. It's just once I let that go, it just allowed me to step forward and move beyond and not live in the past or be able to look towards the future optimistically. And yeah, it was very healing for me.
Oh, that's so beautiful. The gardens, what do they provide for you?
The gardens, to me, they allow me to like be able to be creative and see things grow and be able to be more present with things and teach me gratitude and the metaphors of just seeing plants grow and being part of nature. It really allows you to heal and grow and be able to like just say with a tree, seeing them drop their leaves or things like that teaches you to just let go of
Oh,
things, not hold on.
that's a
And then,
good analogy.
like say, when they get new leaves, you have to drop some of the old things to be able to bring on the new growth and stuff like that. So I don't know, I just see little lessons from life in gardening and the connectedness of everything. It's yeah, I sort of see gardening on such a different level than I feel like most people see nature and gardens and stuff.
Yeah. And you talked about your inner child, like every stroke was mirrors a part of something that you'd forgotten.
Yeah,
What's that about?
used to take life really serious and seeing the world in black and white, where I've realized it's not really black and white, it's full of color,
Yeah.
of many shades. And I feel like being so serious, you forget to find the playful side or just the enjoying such like being curious and creative that that's part of the child in you. And a lot of times when you be so serious and see the world black and white, you forget that side of life. And I feel it's so freeing and you don't have to hold the world on your shoulders in a way.
Yeah.
So that's what I was trying to say in that.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Mm. And you've also talked about Jung. I actually haven't seen that show, The Upgrade. I'm curious to watch it now. Do you know a little bit about Jungian psychology?
I've read a bit into it, and it's good that my family unit, in
Mm,
a way, has started to look more into that. Probably as we grow older,
mm,
as like all the siblings, that we're starting to look into personal growth and
yeah.
different sides of things. And my brother's really in depth in that, and we listen to a lot of podcasts and like talk about things like that.
Mm,
And I've like read a few books on it to try and learn about myself and healing myself in a way and be able to bring my best self forward. That I've dived into things like that, and I found when it comes to dreams and things, like a lot of the influence in my life has come from dreams and
yeah.
things like that, and the impact, like especially with the lavender, like seeing in my dream like a field of lavender and sort of chapel somewhere there, and it sort of gave me direction and feeling of purpose in that dream, and then being able to enact it in life, make it come into being. I feel like your dreams have so much influence on your life, and we a lot of times just think it's just a dream. It doesn't mean anything, but psychologically it must be telling you subconsciously the things that you want in life, and it's if we listen to it, maybe we can be able to create more and be more creative in life, I feel. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love dreams. I have a dream diary next to my bed and I write them down.
Right.
And I have got inspiration from dreams too. Yeah, I find them fascinating because
Mm.
it's basically tapping into your unconscious mind, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, on that, I was thinking about the thing is your unconscious mind doesn't know the difference between real or imagined. And so you are able to create things out of your imagination, aren't you? So like the gardens that they were like you thought of the design and what you wanted and all of that. That's pretty powerful, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's really powerful being able to tap into that side of yourself. And like I've had so many dreams, or sometimes I feel like they're visions as well, like
Yeah.
where being able to make decisions in my life from that. That there's been some times where I had a vision of my, um, it was my nana at the time, and she had a child with a disability, but the rest of the family didn't know about it, and
Oh, really?
it was something that my nana held on to for so long of this child, not letting people know about him, and we were after my nana passed, we found out, and we started to look into it to find out about this child who ended up dying at the age of 5,
Oh,
being in a home or something like that. But then
never
there was
told me.
a lot of mystery behind it, because we found out where he was buried. He was buried with like 30 or 40 different children in the one
Oh,
site, but we don't really know because at the time, like the government and the church and stuff like that hid a lot of things, and um, especially like if you born out of wedlock or something like that, they would take the child
yeah.
away and sort of hide the evidence and stuff like that. So when we're looking into it, um, I've had a vision of something of it was my nana and then these two other spirits or with her, and one of them was one of the children that died in a car accident many years earlier, and then this other child that we're looking into, and yeah, so I feel like he did pass on back then, and
So what year was that? Around about.
oh, this was only a couple years ago, like three or
Oh, yeah, but when your nana had the child, how old would she?
I think she was. It was in between one of the kids that probably 40 or 50 years ago, like
Okay.
it was a long time had passed that.
And that was in Australia?
Yeah, that was in Australia, in Melbourne somewhere. But and we did find looked up on the internet and found where exactly it was buried, but
Yeah.
it didn't really make much sense of where he was buried. So yeah, it was very fishy of what had gone on.
Yeah. Sounds,
Mm,
gee.
yeah. So I don't know, I've had like visions and dreams like that where so vivid and surreal and unexplainable in a way.
Mm.
But then I've had dreams of the lavender where it's given me purpose and
Yeah.
direction and
And what about like when you're in hospital, were you like having dreams or imagining what you would be like when you came out?
one of the biggest things I haven't really talked about much was when I was in my coma, I was in a state of like, because I think when you're in a coma, they've said that you have no understanding of time and stuff like that. And I felt like I was trapped in my own type of, I don't know, it felt like hell or in my own pain, and it felt like it was eternity in a way where I felt so painful that like I never wanted to go back there again. And coming
Oh,
out of hospital,
that was the inspiration to,
it was the motivation to live my life to the fullest.
yeah,
And that really gave me an understanding that maybe, right, if you believe in afterlife or things like that, that where you get you get to choose in a way
yeah,
if you feel like you're deserving of things that you create your own pain to live there or your own joy or growth or just like you have sort of the choice it feels like. But yeah, it's just some takeaways of my experience from
yeah.
that being in that coma. Mm.
Mm, powerful stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely a motivation for me to live life to the fullest.
yeah, yeah. And is there anything you'd like to talk about? Like any work that you're doing that you think is really important to promote?
Well, I'm going through like especially in the last couple of years, like say wanting to like get the most out of life and have a relationship and stuff like that in life where before growing up, because of my disability, like and gonna only live to my early 20s, I sort of pushed those things aside, thinking that they weren't important, even though they were the things that I wanted most in life, but
Mm,
denied myself thinking I wasn't worthy of relationship or I'd be a burden to people in life. Like, why would I want to put my life with someone where I'll die quite early or put their life through hardships and stuff? But then as I've grown older, I've come to realize that those were like limited beliefs and
yeah,
not true in a way that when I see other relationships happen, it's not so black and white in a way. It's a lot more varied. And then I've come to realize that it was me putting those burdens upon myself and that those were just limited beliefs that I've been able to let go and step out. And I feel like having a disability where it gets weaker over time and you have a life expectancy, it really stops you growing and wanting to get the most out of life. And yeah, it's just, I'm grateful that I've got to the point where I can let all that go and move forward. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you live your life with a lot of gratitude.
Yeah, I've been really, at one point, I really put a lot of focus on that.
Yeah,
Like just recently looking back, I remembered I put a whiteboard in my room at
yeah,
the end of my, and I wrote things on there to push me to
yeah,
make my dreams happen a lot quicker, like with a lavender farm, writing down all the tasks of all the things and dreams that I want to do with that. And then I had like gratitude written up there and there's some other things to motivate me and push me forward. And I was thinking like if I go to bed and that's the last thing I see and then the first thing when I wake up it will motivate me to go towards those dreams and goals. And I feel like at the time it really worked, but then I wasn't sort of in a way enjoying life. I was really pushing myself,
oh,
but trying
yeah,
to find a balance of the two of having goals and direction and moving towards it, but then also being present and just enjoying life as well. A
yeah,
balance.
that's a great point. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes we get caught up in that whole drive of pushing yourself to do something, and then you're not enjoying the moment. And
Yeah,
that's the thing that you talked about. Yeah, that being present, is really important, isn't it?
yeah, it's really is important.
And you mentioned about like that the whole fear thing that you used to have, that the feeling of being very fearful. You saw fear and discomfort now as opportunities.
Yeah.
Yeah, and fuel for growth. Talk about that a bit more, maybe.
Well, I'm saying going like especially since my cardiac arrest, I've been going through life where I now want to experience the most out of life. And I believe that the only way through it is to do uncomfortable things as there's always rewards on the other side. And now I'm starting to do that now. And I feel like as a result, it's created more confidence within myself. And I'm starting to trust myself more and more. And that through each experience, I'm growing as a result. And it's helping me to develop more into the person I felt like I always wanted to be. And now I'm starting to do it, like, and doing things uncomfortable. Like, I used to think that because of my disability, I wouldn't be able to do most things. And just recently, I think just 2 weeks ago, I went camping out Hall's Gap, and I hadn't done that for 20 or so years. And I like trying to sleep in a tent on the ground, and I
Oh,
was able to achieve that where before I thought I couldn't do it. And needing to have a ventilator at night, that was a bit of a challenge, but we taking the ventilator, got a powered site at a campsite, and yeah, plugged in the ventilator, was able to charge my wheelchair and still get the camping experience. And I felt like I grew as a result. And just knowing that I can do uncomfortable things, and the more things I do and push through, I know the more fulfilled I feel. Like I went to Bali
oh yeah, that was the other thing. Yeah.
3 years ago for the first time, and I really didn't think I could really do it because it's quite difficult being in a wheelchair and navigating places that there's not much accessibility
Yeah.
at all. And I'm grateful that I have like a wheelchair that's like a four-wheel drive that
Oh,
can
yeah.
handle tough terrains, and I was able to take it overseas to Bali and just push myself. Like there's no footpaths that I can go on, so I have to navigate on some of the roads as well in the wheelchair, and it's able to mount a few stairs, so that's able to get into some of the buildings. So fulfilling being able to do something that other people just take for granted, that you can go to a destination and it's not much thought has to go in how you can navigate places like that, and being able to do that for myself with my brothers, it's really a great experience. And yeah, I want to do more things like that in life, just push and challenge myself just to get the most out of life.
Yeah. So, and after that Bali one, you said that you learnt like to love yourself more and to accept yourself fully. And why was that?
Um, I think growing up, I really treated my disability in a way pretending it wasn't really there.
Okay.
And the more I've come to accept my disability and share the vulnerabilities of my disability and see myself with that, like just talking about it in general conversations and stuff like that, it allows me to accept myself more fully. And then as a result, you're able to do more in life because you're not letting those limits stop you and be like a facade of not getting the most out of life because you don't want to accept your difficult situation or something like that. So that's where I've been able to, in a way, love myself more because I'm accepting all the hard parts and difficulties.
Yeah, and I'm sure you've got lots of positive qualities as well. Like I think that you probably from your experiences would be more empathetic and understanding of other people.
Yeah, it allows that to happen, to feel more for other people and
Yeah.
to realize that everyone's going through their own difficulties and challenges, and to see people for who they are, let the judgments go, and then when you can give people a space where they don't feel judged, it allows people to open up, and
Yeah. So true.
people aren't just good or bad. Everyone's in between, and everyone's trying their best to what they have experience in their past
Yeah.
and stuff. And so, yeah, I'm able to see people more without any judgment, and that's where you can build strong connections with a variety of different people,
Mm,
and that opens up your own perspective to your own life as well.
yeah.
Mm.
Mm. And so you talked about the possibility of maybe having a relationship. What would you think would be important in a relationship?
I think values is probably the most important thing to have and to share. And like I've been pushing myself in that space for a couple of years, and I feel like when you're just in isolation or solo in a way, that you miss out on the growth opportunities for yourself. And I feel like when you get into relationships or close to that, it opens up new thought patterns within yourself, and you're able to learn as
About
a result.
each other?
And I found that was like the greatest like change in my life. Has made me feel more fulfilled in a way. when I'm stepping into that space,
Yeah.
and teaches you to be able to be able to give back or provide like different. I don't know. It allowed me to feel like I bring value to
Yeah.
people in a way as well.
Mm.
Where when I didn't believe I was capable of that, or that I was a lot harder on myself. So it's been quite good being able to step into that space. Yeah,
As a possibility, yeah.
yeah.
Nice. Hmm. And what would be the words of wisdom from somebody who's experienced your life? What would you like to tell people?
Oh, there's a lot, but I feel like the more you put yourself out there where it's uncomfortable, like that's where all the rewards and good things happen. On the other side of being uncomfortable, like have the courage to step beyond your fears, because that's where, yeah, all the rewards and treasures of life is on the other side of that. I feel that's the biggest message.
Beautiful.
Mm.
And if so your Malden's men's circle, you meet, how often do you meet?
We try and meet every fortnight.
Oh wow, that's all
And
right.
I haven't started for the start of this year
Yeah.
as I've been really busy, but I think next month I'm planning to do another, yeah, start up every fortnight.
Mm.
Mm.
And there was also a camp.
Originally from Coffs Harbour, so that in Sydney they used to have a group camp. That's where I came across a few people with my disability and being able to share about the commonalities of our own situations. So I had a bit of that growing up, and then in Sydney they had in Manly they had a place called Bear Cottage for kids, especially with my condition, being able to go to get respite, because a lot of times it can be challenging to get away or get accommodation,
Yeah.
and they provided like nurses and stuff like that, which allowed, I think it was big for families to be able to get respite and be able to have a holiday with their child with a disability or something like that. So that was really good to have growing up. Yeah.
And what was that called?
Bear Cottage.
Bear Cottage.
Yeah.
Like bear. Oh, no,
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah. I found that was really good for my family, and be able to have a holiday like that where I got looked after, where they didn't have to look after me for a bit, and being able to, they had tickets to go to different things. It was like on the beach and stuff, so
Oh
could
no.
go around and just enjoy a bit of respite. Yeah.
And you got a pool too. Do you find that really a great experience?
Yeah, pool therapy for me has been really good. We've got our own pool, but I also go into town to do swimming, and they have like saunas and stuff like that. And
Oh,
I'm able to use those as well. And I find that really good for my health.
yeah.
And because I can't really do much physically, but when I'm in the pool, I have a bit more movement, and
Yeah.
I'm able to do some exercise where,
Yeah.
yeah.
And is like the sauna, is that good for your lungs? Is it?
I feel like it is. It opens up my airways a lot more, and like being able to sweat out the impurities in my
Yeah.
body stuff, and I feel like that really helps. And I've been getting massages and
Oh,
things like that, and I feel that those couple of things have really benefited my life in a way, and especially with swimming, I was able to lose a lot of weight, and with my muscles, they sort of die in a way from my disability, and I had all this tissue in my like legs, especially where the muscles felt really hard and solid, and doing an exercise like swimming and massages, it was able to let all that go, and now it's all soft and the muscles are soft again,
Okay.
which I really didn't think that was possible, but it had. So yeah, so it's a lot of benefits for my condition.
And is there, are you having an open day or something coming up at your gardens? Or you,
It's not really open days. We have garden groups that
oh
come
yeah,
visit, and I'll probably do something maybe the end of next year when the lavender's coming out, another open day. But at the moment, we just have garden groups coming, and
nice.
they really enjoy visiting the garden. Got the Festival of Gardens that I'm part of that they run the first week of November,
Yeah, is that every year?
every second year.
Oh, every second, yeah.
So the next one's in November this year.
Oh, it is. Okay, cool.
Look forward to opening my garden up as part of that.
Beautiful.
Mm.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah,
And
for having me.
yeah, it's been great talking about your life and your amazing experiences. And
Yeah,
your outlook on life is just amazing. I just think it's so, yeah, it's really beautiful the way you've adapted and changed your thinking. You know, like
yeah.
it's
Thank you.
incredible. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for giving me the opportunity to
Oh,
share the story.